guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be using my TBR prompt jar to pick out my April list of books that I'd like to read. Last month I think I picked out 6 or 8, I think it was 8 in the end, and one of them I've decided not to read. If you've watched that video you can probably guess which one I decided I didn't want to read. The rest of them I'm now on the last one, so the rest of them I've all read and I'm on the last one. In April, I will actually be having surgery, so I'm going to be in hospital for a couple of days and then I'm going to be at home recovering. So that means no work, and my husband, bless him, will be doing the majority of the childcare and the toing and froing from different places. So I will have at least a week of bed rest. And that means I think that I'm going to get quite a bit of reading done. So with that in mind, I am going to pick 10 prompts, which might be too ambitious, but if I don't get to them all, I don't get to them all. So as usual, I want to focus on my physical TBR, but because I'm not going to take books into hospital, I'm going to take my Kindle. I will also be picking some from my Kindle to make up my TBR as well. Okay, so the first prompt, give it a minute, is just one there. A book that has a cover that you love. See that? Okay, let me just have a look. So there is several books that I think have got absolutely beautiful covers, but the one I have picked is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. Because I just think this is absolutely stunning, and it is also the only hardcover book that I've got on my TBR. I think this is absolutely stunning, and I've heard amazing things about it, and I don't think it would take me too long because the writing's pretty big as well. So my first pick of the month is going to be The Crimson Moth. Okay, so prompt number 2 is a book written by a female author. Okay, so the majority of the books on my TBR are female authors, I believe. I mean, definitely are. So that gives me a lot of choice, and it's more about what I fancy reading, maybe. So I think I'm going to avoid any that would be starting a new series, because I am trying to make progress with some series. Picture fantasy, I've got like loads more to go, but I think I am going to. Okay, so the option I picked is Play Along by Liz Tomford. I am currently reading Caught Up, and I'm probably about 40% through, I think, and I'm really enjoying it. And Isaiah, who's this book is, obviously pops up in Caught Up, and I really like him. I think he's really funny. And then this will get me up to date with the series, ready for the next one to come out later this year, I think. So my second pick for April is Play Along. Also, there's a good chance that this is on Kindle Unlimited, which means that I could also get it on my Kindle and read it on, I could say on holiday. It's not a holiday. Read it when I'm. Yes, Play Along is also on Kindle Unlimited. So if I didn't fancy taking the book, or I was like, just want to pick it up on Kindle, then I can do that as well. Okay, prompt number 3 is book with a protagonist who has a different culture. Okay, I do have a few options, so let me just see what I've. Okay, so the option I have gone with is Take My Hand by Jolene Perkins Valdez. This is a historical fiction set in Montgomery, Alabama in 1973, and I just think this sounds really good. Hadn't heard of it. I think I just saw it on Amazon when I was just having a little look. I hadn't heard of it before. I hadn't seen anyone talking about it, but it really intrigued me, so I am looking forward to this one. Prompt number 4. I need to try and maybe look at my Kindle. though I can obviously replay along on my Kindle, so that's really one. Okay, prompt number 4. A book set in a country you've never been to. Well, I've never been out of Europe, so I have a lot of options. A lot of these are going to be set in America. Okay, so the one I've picked up, I'm really excited about. I saw Sarah Corelli read this. I think she read it like end of last year over New Year, and she absolutely loved this series. It is the start of another series, but I want to read it so badly that I just don't care. So the book I've picked as set in another country, or set in what was it? Set in another country, or country you've never been to, I think it was. Is Beartown by Fredman Bachman, and this is set in Sweden. This is the start of a trilogy. I've never read anything by this author, but just based on people's reviews, I've already added like several of his books to my want to read list. So okay, so this is about a small town, and it says its isolation means Beartown has been slowly shrinking with each passing year, but now the town is on the verge of an astonishing revival, and a bright new future is just around the corner until the day it is all put in jeopardy by a single brutal act. So, from what I know, something happens and it divides the town between those who want it hushed up and those that are so angry that they want to speak out about it. I think I've already said it's the first in a trilogy, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. And so far, my April TBR pile is looking really good. Okay, prompt number 5, and this one I'm gonna go with my Kindle as a priority, I think, just to get another one. Oh, okay. A book that is part of a series. So I've got loads and loads of series on the go. That is a video I will be doing separately at some point, where I just go through what series I'm in the middle of. Even though out of the 4 books I've chosen so far, 2 of them are starting a new series. But okay, let me have a look at my Kindle and see if I've got any that are already on my Kindle, or I can get off Kindle Unlimited. I'm sure there'll be plenty of. Okay, so I found one that I got in an Amazon 99p deal probably a few months ago. This is book 2 in the Kiss Quotient series. The first one being the Kiss Quotient, and the second one is the Bride Test. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. And that is by Helen Huang. I think it's going to be just a real quick. It's 320 pages. It's just going to be a real quick, nice little palette cleanser. So that is absolutely ideal. So that is going to be my 5th pick of the month. Okay, prompt number 6. Lowest rated book on your Goodreads list. Okay, so if I go to my physical TBR shelf, because I think that'll be easier than going on. Okay, so got my physical TBR shelf on Kindle, and if I go by average rating and reverse it. Okay, so the book that has been on, no, the book that is lowest rated on my physical TBR shelf on Kindle, so that's just separate. Once I have the physical, I scan it in and put it onto Kindle, put it onto Audible, Goodreads, put it onto Goodreads. So the book that is the lowest rated is Sorry I Missed You by Lorraine Brown. If I can get it out, I'll move these ones out of the way. Okay, so Sorry I Missed You by Lorraine Brown. To be fair, it's got a rating of 3.32, and but it's only got 788 ratings. I've never, again, I think this might have just been one I saw on Amazon or maybe even Vinted. And I just liked the look of it. I'm very much drawn by what a cover looks like, and I also judge by a cover as well. Again, another really short, probably quite easy palette cleanser. Let me just see if it might be on Kindle. So I've just found it on Amazon, and it is only £2.99 on Kindle, so that could always be an option to just read it on my Kindle whilst I'm in hospital. because I don't think it would take very long, and that's probably the ideal sort of thing I want to be reading. So I'm going to pop that in my pile. So I've got 5 books plus the Bride Test, which is on my Kindle. Okay, okay. So book number 7 is, what the print is, a book with a green cover. Okay, let me. I have 3 viable options for this. Obviously, this one's green, but that's the middle of a series that I haven't started yet, so I won't read that yet. Um, so yeah, I think my 3 options are Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, Richard Osmond, The Bullet That Missed, which is the 3rd book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and Collide by Belle Cabra. And I think out of the 3, I am going to go with Richard Osmond, The Bullet That Missed. Like I said, it's the 3rd in a series, so it will help me towards wrapping up some series. And it's just a little bit different. So I've got a fantasy, I've got a contemporary fiction, got a historical fiction, and I've got a couple of romance. This is a really easy, funny palate cleanser series, mystery, like murder mystery. And I just think it would be really fun. So that is pick number 7. And number 8, book number 8 is a book with a number in the title, and I know exactly which one I want to read. Um, I read Keeping 13 and Binding 13 last year, and I think about them all the time. And for a while, I wasn't ready to move on with Joey's story, and then I was doing like TBRs and stuff, like prompt Joe ones, and last month it didn't come up as an option. And then last week, Chloe Walsh announced the next book, and I've just seen it all over my TikTok, people talking about the series as a whole, and I love the first 2 books, 6-star reads for me, and I think it's time that I carry on. I don't think I'll get caught up with the series by the time the new one comes out. One closer at the very least. So my 8th pick is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. Also, just remembered I did get this on my Kindle in a 99p deal 1 month. So did I? Yes, I've got all 3 of them on my Kindle, all 3 of the ones I haven't read. So that is one that I can pick up either on my Kindle or the physical, depending on how I'm feeling at the time. So I am going to pick 2 more, but at the moment I've got 3 that I can read on my Kindle, which will be ideal for the hospital. Plus, I've got loads. If I needed more, I've got loads on my Kindle already anyway. But yeah, Saving Six. Okay, number 9, second to last one. I'm so excited about this TBR so far. I think it's gonna be a really good read month. A mafia romance. Okay, so these are more likely going to be on my um Kindle. Darkest Temptation. So that is Made Book 3 on Kindle Unlimited. I've read the first 2, absolutely love them. Um, I've been excited to get to the 3rd one. There was meant to be a 4th one, I think, but I don't think anyone's really heard about what's happening with that. So as far as I'm aware, this will then wrap up this series for me. So pick number 8 is going to be The Darkest Temptation in the Maid series. Or you will have to excuse me because I am full of cold, so I've just had a bit of a coughing fit. But okay, last pick for the April TBR is husband picks. Okay, let me see if he's free. Okay, so these are the options you've got. Bear in mind that some of these will be the next in a series that I haven't read yet. So if you point to one of them, I'll obviously let you know that I'm not ready to read that one yet. Just be kind to me because I'm gonna be ill in April. So don't just go for the one that you think looks the hardest to read, because I know you. I think you should read this one. No. You're gonna do that. I knew it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I I knew he would do that. I thought it would either be Crescent City or this one because he would have just looked for the longest. So my last pick of the month for April is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. It's the first in the Mistborn trilogy. It's the first Brandon Sanderson book I would have picked up. I have been looking forward to this, but I do find the Brandon Sanderson world to be quite daunting. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Okay, then, so as a little wrap up, I will just go through the 10 books that I have got for April. I'll do the two on my Kindle first so that I don't forget them. So for part of a series, I've got The Bride Test by Helen Huang. And then for a mafia romance, I've got The Darkest Temptation by Danielle Laurie. So The Bride Test is the second out of 3 in the series, and The Darkest Temptation is the third out of 3 in the series. So that's helping me towards my wrapping up some series. I've also got as options, so I can also read Play Along, Saving Six, and maybe even Sorry I Missed You on my Kindle if I feel the need to. Okay, so let me see if I can work out which book went with which prompt. So for a book with a protagonist who has a different culture, I picked Take My Hand by Jolene Perkins Valdez. So very much looking forward to that. For book that's part of the series was The Bride Test on my Kindle. Book that has a cover that you love. So that one was The Crimson Moth. I just think it's absolutely stunning. And I've heard nothing but good things about this series. So that was that one. The lowest rated book on your Goodreads list was Sorry I Missed You by Lorraine Brown. It was still like a 3.22. And if I was to rate a book 3 stars, that still means I enjoyed the book. So I definitely don't think this is going to be a bad book in any way. I'm looking forward to just having it as a nice, easy little palette cleanser. Husband picks was Brandon Sanderson, The Final Empire, the first of the Mistborn trilogy. All my prompts are over here, so I'm just finding them. A book set in a country you've never been to. Frederick Backman and Beartown, which is set in Sweden. For a book written by a female author, I've got Play Along by Liz Tom Ford. Absolutely love this series. Mile High has been my least favourite so far, but The Right Move was a 5 star. Caught Up, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a 5 star, and then I've heard that this is the best one so far anyway. And I'm looking forward to the next one coming out later in the year, I think. Just done that one. And then I had a book with a green cover, so that was Richard Osman, The Bullet That Missed, and a book with a number in the title, so Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. That is all the books that I will be trying to get read in April. I'm almost finished with my March TBR, so I might even get a little head start and cheat a little bit. I also want to, at some point in the month of April, I want to do a finishing series that I'm in the middle of. So there might be some extra books, but it will depend on how I get on with these and how I'm feeling after my surgery. Because I'm just not going to push myself. And I'm really looking forward to having a week off where I could just be on the sofa and read, to be honest. And then coming up soon, well, at the start of April will be my March reading wrap up. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're not already. Feel free to like and leave a comment with anything you're looking forward to reading in April, or if you've read any of these books. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.